Well, it looks like Stephen has a bunch of tools out. And I don't know what's going on here. We've got a lot going on with our new truck. We got Mr. Mechanic over there, Mr. Jack of all trades and master of them all. Stephen, what are we doing today? What are you doing, rather?
Well, my gearbox is leaking a little bit, and after about 10 minutes of driving, you're completely wore out trying to keep it on the road. So I decided after getting the new tires and putting all new ball joints, and well, I'm not doing ball joints, excuse me. I'm doing inner and outer tie rod ends, a stabilizer, and a steering gearbox.
That sounds like a lot. You got some kind of mechanism going on, Stephen. What are you doing?
A mechanism?
You got a mechanism going on.
These are the clamps that holds the stabilizer onto the inner tie rod. This is an inner tie rod, and it has a stabilizer connected to it, which also connects to the chassis. It keeps the tires from doing what they call the death wobble.
A death wobble? What
Yep.
is that all about?
Well, these bigger trucks like this are known to get what they call death wobble. It generally happens on trucks with lifts, but these 350s, when they came out in '96, they did have a little bit of wobble in the front end. It was tearing up the tires, so I read up on it, and even Ford knew about it, but they didn't put them on in the factory unless you ordered it. And this here is a Ford product, so it was definitely ordered. But not that 190 or 170,000 miles would wear one out. I just figured that it was as good a time as any to replace it.
Wow, listen to the birds. The birds are really active today. I wonder what they're saying. Well, we're getting there, Stephen. We got to take care of, obviously, some things first, but we're getting there.
Step at a time. I'm only one man.
You're a one-man show and a one-woman behind the camera show.
And this.
I'm used to seeing you laying on the ground in front of a big grill of a Peterbilt. I'm not used to seeing you laying on the ground in front of a Ford grill.
Yeah, well, those Peterbilt days are gone. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 9, 30,
How many times do you have to go?
31, 32, 33.
You have to do 33 times. would have been on one side and the other tank would have been on the other side. That's what I would have thought. I didn't.
Well, then if they did that, when you went to go fuel, you'd have to go to one pump and then go to the other pump.
Oh, yeah.
Go turn the key on and move the steering wheel.
Okay, so Stephen has just had me come up here in the cab of the truck and play with the key. Well, I had to figure out, I know this sounds silly, but I had to turn the key without actually starting the ignition. And that's kind of a foreign concept to me. You know, you put the key in and you turn it and it starts the ignition, but apparently on this truck I could just turn it, and then something about the arm, what's that called, the extension arm? He's up underneath the vehicle.
Put in the inner tie rod into the pitman arm.
The inner tie rod into the pitman arm. All right, did I just help you on something, Stephen?
Well, I don't know if that's what you call it, but okay.
I was up underneath the truck with you. So I did something. I held some type of crowbar for you.
It wasn't a crowbar. I had Ruthie B hold up the front of this here 1-inch drive ratchet. I had her hold it up like this. That's all she had to do was just hold it up so that I could put this torque bar on there. And breaker bar, or whatever you want to call it. Pipe.
Crowbar.
It's not a crowbar.
So.
And so I could tighten up that bolt, because that thing is super duper hard to turn. So Ruthie B got down there and she hoo and hollered.
I did not
and
do that.
Cried and boo hoo.
I did not do
and
that.
She let go of it and I almost popped her right in the head. And she's, oh, I can't hold it anymore.
Stephen, you're exaggerating.
But she tucked it out, got a little greasy, some grease in her hair and on her elbows and stuff, but we got her done. Where you put the grease in. See, this is down here below it. That thing right there is called a grease zert. That's where you hook up the grease gun and squirt the grease in, load it up full of grease.
Oh. Quite the view you have down here, Mr. Howard.
Yeah. I could think of better places to get views, but
Are you ever afraid that the vehicle's going to fall on you?
It's got wheels on all the way around it. It better not fall on me.
So, Stephen, you said you've been working on cars since you were 9 years old?
Yep.
That's almost 50 years, considering you're 58.
Yep.
So you've been working on vehicles for...
As a matter of fact, my dad and I built my first motor when I on a 59 Chevrolet when I was 9 years old. When I was 7 years old, my dad brought home a Ducati 250 and said, "Here you go, boy. Here's your motorcycle. If you want it, you gotta make it run." And I worked on it for about 6 months, and I never could make it run. He finally come home one day and said, "Well, I guess if this thing's ever gonna run, I'm gonna have to fix it myself." And so he went to working on it, and he couldn't fix it. So he went and bought me another motor. It was a bigger motor, and put it in there. He said, "This motorcycle's too fast for you, boy." So he went out and got me a Honda 100.